We are here on Pure Country with Steve and Lee Olsen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So exciting week for you. This is first time back in Toronto in how long has it been?
Too long.
Too long.
Yeah, too long. It looks every time I come back to the city, there's a new skyscraper. There's something different.
Yeah.
Feels weird.
And what are you here for?
Well, this is our first day of media for the Old Dominion No Bad Vibes tour, which kicks off on the 27th, also known as Friday, and but then I get to come back here on Saturday and play, I guess, the closest hometown show to where I was born and grew up at the Scotiabank Center.
So Scotiabank Arena.
Scotiabank Arena.
Have you been to concerts there before? I don't even think we've talked about this. I know you've gone to like Budweiser stage a lot and whatnot, but like, have you been to concerts at Scotiabank Arena?
I think the last concert I saw there was Metallica.
Oh, okay.
But so the answer is yes, for sure. And it's going to be wild. I'm like, I don't think it's fully set in yet.
Yeah.
The reality of how big that place is, and I'm pretty sure it's sold out too.
So a lot of people, you are part of No Bad Vibes tour with Old Dominion, and it's called the Whiskey Jam Favorites, which is the 3 opening slots of the show. It's Sean Austin, yourself, and Frank Ray. But a lot of people, like even myself, I've lived in Nashville for a little bit now. I've never been to a Whiskey Jam show. You obviously have been. What is Whiskey Jam to everyone like at home or that's coming to a show that has never heard of it before? Because it's not just the name of the show. It really has a lot of meaning.
Yeah, it does. Such a great question. You know, Whiskey Jam has become a staple in Nashville over the last 10 years, maybe even more. And it started out as this little jam night where people would show up at this bar called Winners or Losers. And they've actually started doing these big concert series out in their parking lot now. And the brand has just grown exponentially. You know, it's up there with, you know, people go to the Bluebird when they go to Nashville. Yeah. They also go to Whiskey Jam to discover new artists. So just to be a part of Whiskey Jam and the tour is going to be unreal. It's very much so in the style of Whiskey Jam in Nashville. So it's going to be one artist after the other, and it's going to be a really high energy show.
So cool, because like you said, a lot of big names played at Whiskey Jam, like Maren Morris, Chris Stapleton, Carly Pearce, all these huge names before they became big stars kind of started out there. So it's cool that, you know, Whiskey Jam is giving you guys an opportunity to go on this massive tour across Canada. When you got the dates for this show, knowing you were, you know, going to be in Ontario and go out west and stuff, when you saw that you were playing like the Scotiabank Arena, you knew you were coming to Toronto, but getting to do that, what was your thought going through your head?
Man, it was wild. I remember getting the call just that we got the tour in the first place. And
we were at the airport, I feel like.
Yeah, we were. I think it was probably the only time I've ever cried at an airport.
Yep.
I've never got to go on a big tour, especially in my home country, and this band I'm just such a big fan of.
Yeah.
Old Dominion, they're a bunch of songwriters as well as entertainers, and if you know me, it's kind of my forte. I love writing songs. It's part of my artistry, and just to be, you know, tagging along for the ride is pretty amazing, and to get to come back to my hometown where, you know, everybody saw where I started. You know, I've lived everywhere in New York region that you can think of, and, you know, washed dishes and changed tires in so many of these local shops. And it's just going to be wild, full circle moment, you know, that I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, so starting 2023 off with obviously a big tour, which very exciting, but deciding to finally release new music, because I know you've been working on it for a really long time and trying to figure out, this guy has more songs than I've ever seen or heard in my entire life, like which one you're going to lead with. You've decided to drop your first single of this new project on the first day of the tour. What was your thought around that? Because that's going to be like a huge day for you on January 27th, like first night of the tour, and your single drops that day.
Yeah.
Outta Yours is what it's called.
Yeah, it's called Outta Yours. It was very much intentional. I figured, you know, this year I'm really leaning into, you know, the artists that I feel like I've developed over the last decade. And I feel like this song represents exactly where I'm trying to go sonically moving forward. And you know, this tour is also the start of a new chapter as well. You know, after this tour, I'm going to be nonstop on the road, making sure that I follow up in every city that we get to travel with or travel into
Yeah.
on this tour. So you're gonna get really sick of me really fast. And so I hope you guys
You won't. He's
get
great.
used to
I
it.
promise. Outta Yours though, because I found like when you and I first met and stuff, like you were releasing a lot of heartbreak music, and then it kind of switched to obviously relationship goals. What has made you go Outta Yours, even though like you're clearly in a very happy relationship? Outta Yours is, even though we're not going through a breakup, it definitely makes me think back to times when I've been in that position and the feeling that you have. Does this song feel like it really resonates with you? Like, and when you're singing it, you're hoping like people are feeling that too, even if they're not in a bad place?
Absolutely. I mean, I think you nailed it on the head. I'm obviously in a very happy relationship. But, this song was written in the heart of Georgia. It was written on a retreat with two of my best friends and such great songwriters, Corey Crowder and Brandon Day. And we went out there to drink whiskey, play golf, and to write heartbreak songs. And this is just a compilation of all three heartbreaks, all of our worst stories, and us crying about it in a cabin.
No one needs to know that. No,
Crying in a Cabin.
Crying
That's
in a
my
Cabin.
next single. It's called Crying in a Cabin.
What does next? Oh God, I got a twist. I'm turning. What does more new music look like? Because, like I said, you have so much of it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be releasing more music in the next little while. This is the first of many to come. Like you said, I write so much music that I have a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that what I put out there is not only consistent, but is something that the fans love. So make sure you follow me on my TikTok and my Instagram, because I'm going to be teasing some of those songs real soon.
Sweet. All right, Stephen Lee Olsen on Pure Country.